In our classes so far, we have created the entities, intents, and the utterances. So when we create any intent and we have to test the utterances, we have to manually add the utterances in the testing window over here, and one by one we have to test. Now if you closely observe, we have a hyperlink over here which says go to the test case. So we can click on the test case and we can write a number of test cases for our skill, or we can create the CSV file and upload the test case on the skill level, and we can run all the test cases in a go and verify that our inferences are properly matched with the intent. In this class, we will see how we can create the test suites, that is for creating the test cases. Both the ways we will see how we can create the test suites using the Visual Flow Designer as well as using the CSV file in our notepad. First, I will click on test case, and here we have to enable the test. So this is used because I think the same window is used, or the pop-up, that is to update or edit the test case which we create. Here we will tell that we want to test utterance, that is I don't need burger, cancel. Okay, and the test suite you can select if you have created. Otherwise, it will add to the default test suite. Default test suite is the default test case which will be available over here. In short, test suite is nothing but it will have n number of test cases combined or group, which is called as test suite. So we can create n number of test cases and we can assign that to a particular test suite. So here we can tell I want to cancel this burger. This has to match to which intent? It is for the cancel burger. We want to test this entity and the language we are using is English. I can click on continue and add to the test suite. So as I told, this is the default test suite available in the skill. Suppose if you want to create a custom test suite, you can just click on this plus test suite and it will create a new test suite over here with the name test suite 001. Currently, I don't see how to rename this over here in the UI. I think that option is not available, but you can add n number of test cases one by one over here. Since we added already a test case in the test suite, we will add one more test case and we will tell I need burger urgently. And we can add that to any test suite. As I told, we can have n number of test cases as part of the test suite. I will add to the default test suite and I will tell this has to map to order burger intent. And we have to test the entities. It has to basically check any entities are provided. I need a burger means they are asking for a burger, but our composite bag items, it is not supplied over here. Like what is the size of the burger, what is the burger type, and what time it has to deliver. So the entities also it has to consider over here. And the language we want to check is English over here, and click on continue and add test suite. So this is going to add the test case in the test suite. If you closely observe, in the default test suite, we are having couple of utterances which we added just now, which are nothing but the test cases. Now we can test our skill or the intents in bulk, that is by selecting over here the test suite and click on run on. So you can provide a unique name so that in the report it will save with that name. So you can follow the naming as per the convention followed in your project. I will click on start. Currently it is running. If you want to refresh the status, just click on this refresh. It will refresh the test case over here. In our case, we had two test cases and both are passed. If you just see, both are passed and the accuracy is 100%. So we have covered all the utterances in our intent when we created. Suppose if I go to the intents over here, it will tell what intents it has mapped. We had two test cases. One is for cancel burger and another is the order burger. So it will be listed over here. And the test cases, it will list over here, all passed over here. If some test cases got failed, it will list over here the test failure. And the threshold, confidence threshold, it will highlight over here what is the expected intent, what is it has mapped, all those things it will show over here. Coming to the test result, it will tell it has mapped to this order burger with this accuracy. And I don't need a burger, it has mapped with 100% accuracy. If there is any failure, we can see the failure analysis why it failed over here. Now with this said, we will try to create the test cases or the test suite using the CSV file and upload over here. In order to do the same, what we can do is, we have to create a CSV file. So when we create any test case, basically it's asking for the utterance, test suite, intent, test intent, and the language. From the documentation, it's available like how to create the CSV file. I have already created a CSV file. I will show you the sample. So this is the sample CSV file we have to create. It will basically have a test suite name. Is nothing but it will be showing over here the name in the test suite, like how we create in the UI. Next, the utterances, that is the phrase we have to give. Then expected intent, like how we have seen in the UI, it has to map to which intent. Then whether it should be enabled or disabled. Suppose when you click on run all, whether that particular test case should be ignored, then you have to mark it as false. If it is true, then it will be considered when you click on this run all. Then it comes the language over here and the expected entity. So expected entity we can ignore as of now. With this step, we will try to import this CSV file. One way is we can click on this mode and click on import and we can select the file over here. Other way is I will demonstrate. Suppose if you are creating for the first time, I will delete the test suite of the cases which we created over here. Let me delete everything. Done. So default test suite we cannot delete. So the custom test suites which we created that we can delete. I will again go to the test cases over here and we don't have anything over here at the moment. Now that window is not showing. Let me just refresh the browser. I will click on test utterance. Go to the test cases. So when you don't have any test suites, so you will see such kind of page over here in the landing page or the dashboard page. So here we will get a import. Suppose if you already created any test suites, then import will be part of the more option in the actions menu. I will click on import. From here, I will select the CSV file. Click on this. I will select the CSV file. Click on open. Here it will tell to which test suite we have to map all the values over here. So as of now, I will select randomly some test suite. But at runtime, what it will do is it will check the CSV file and it will get the name from the test suite column over here and it will create a new test suite over here. Click on upload. So importing in progress. Done. All got imported over here. We basically had 8 test cases over here and it has created a test suite with the name what we had provided over here. Suppose if you want to give a different test suite name, for 4 rows you want one kind of test suite name and for 4 you want different, you can use that as well. Now with this said, if you want to delete, you can delete, and if you want to modify, you can modify this if you want to disable anything from the run. I will select this test suite, that is the test case 1, and pick on run all. We can give the name and pick on start. As soon as we click on run all, it has run the test suite, and as part of this we had 8 test cases. So previous test cases runs are visible over here. If you want to see the previous runs, you can have a look at here by clicking on the respective test suite runs. For this reason, I had told give the appropriate name so that you can recognize which test suite you had run at what time. Now for this case, it is saying accuracy is 75%, means 6 were passed. It is able to identify for which intent our utterances got mapped and to what fields it did not recognize to which it should be mapped. So they are unresolved. So here is the chart which will say what is accuracy, passed and failure. Coming to the intent, it will tell how much got mapped to cancel burger, file complaint and the order burger, and one got failed. So it should be mapped to the cancel burger, but it did not map to that particular intent. Let's see why it got failed. I will go to the test cases over here. I will click on the failed over here. It is saying help me with my order. So it should be basically go to the file complaint. Taking long to deliver, I don't need. So this should be mapped to the cancel order. So it did not understand what user is asking over here. We can click on view similar utterances. So it will launch the similar utterances for this failed scenario, that is for the cancel burger. So it will launch the similar utterances by looking at the intent in our skill. So 0% it is saying, I will check for help me with the order. It's not there. So that's fine. I will go to the test results over here. So this is unresolved. And in the failure analysis, it is saying unresolved. So it is unable to resolve. I clicked on similar utterances. There is a glitch in the product. It is coming with the little late over here. Now it is saying all the utterances we have added in the intent, like these are the utterances we have for the cancel burger, file complaint and for the order burger, everything is visible over here. So whatever is similar, it has highlighted over here. Now one more way is you can ask your partner or we can have a separate person in your team for testing purpose. What they can do is you can click on this preview and they can actually run these test cases manually, that is by writing the same utterances. Like I will tell over here, I don't need this burger. I will Right over here, deliver, I don't need this. Click on enter. Now let's see whether it can understand or not. When we tested the test suite, it was unable to understand. Same thing is happening over here. It's unresolved. ODA will add under the insights. If you go to the insights, it will have the insights of all the testing, what you do on the preview over here. If you go to that retrainer, what you can do is you can pick from the user's input, which it got unresolved. If I closely observe, we have one unresolved over here, which you tested just now. I will select this and I will manually add it to the cancel bugger. It means cancel bugger. It should map. Click on add example. As soon as you click on add example, what it will do is it will basically add in the cancel burger the same utterance where it's added here. Taking long to deliver, I don't need. As soon as you modify the utterances in the intent, you have to train your skill again. So this is the thing you have to do. Whenever you test the utterances for the intents, you have to retrain your skill. So we'll wait for a couple of seconds and again we will try to run our test case. At that time, it has to run the case and it has to map that utterance to the cancel order intent. Let's see how it works. Let's wait until this gets trained. Our skill got trained successfully. Now let's preview this again. I will rerun this same thing. Taking long to deliver, I don't need. So it has to map to the cancel order intent. So it has mapped to the correct intent, that is the cancelling the order. Similarly, if I go to the test utterances and run the same suite again, that is the test suite also over here, it has to map that to the correct intent right now. I will just refresh. It's in progress. It's taking some time. Testing in progress is showing. So you can refresh the status by clicking on this refresh icon over here. Now we are seeing that 7 got passed. Earlier it was 6 dot passed. Now if we go to the intents over here, it's saying cancel, it has mapped all 3. So which is what we needed. If we just go to the past test cases, so it will show taking long time to deliver, I don't need. So this got mapped correctly and you will see the score, that is the 100%. So like this, you can create the test suites and you can test your skills whenever there is a modification done by your colleague or your team lead or anyone in your team. You don't have to sit and write every time or test your skills with the utterances. You can run the test suite and you can get the results. So you can capture the results and you can tell with your teams every time it should pass all the test cases. If you see any failed cases, then you have to ask your colleague to correct the utterance and again retest so that all should be passed before it is migrated to production environment.